just wanted to send a quick hello and I love you.
This little opening Happy Mia is about all the context we get for her and Ethan's relationship, and for what this game's goal was, it's all we need. Doesn't waste our time and is to the point. Now that's more like it for my horror game.
You were right. I did lie to you. I shouldn't have.
See what happens to liars? Seriously though, if I was babysitting a bioweapon, I'd lie about it too.
All I can say is that if you get this, stay away.
I don't know about that one. Capcom's got a franchise to save.
It's Mia. She's not dead, she's alive. She's back.
Was she named Mia because she was MIA?
But she's back somehow. Maybe it's a prank, but she wants me to come and get her.
You know, a few years ago, I'd say going missing for 3 years is the worst prank ever, but judging by recent content creators, this would be on the mild side of pranks. Now you're probably thinking, wow, Cam sounds really sick. And for that, you'd be right. I thought getting sick before recording audio for this game would be the perfect way to really relate to all the sick people Evelyn made.
Dulvey, Louisiana.
Of all the places to set your last shot of pumping new life into Resident Evil, they chose Louisiana. Now, my Tom Segura fans know exactly what's up there, so it was a perfect place to set a house full of weirdos. Maybe that wall would have helped after all. Please don't kill me, I love my Cajun fans. Ah yes, nothing like driving out to an abandoned house in a dank bayou. There are certain horror tropes that just work and are unavoidable, and the isolation presented by the setting really plays well into establishing a sense of hopelessness throughout. No more gator, no more shrimp. Nah, that ain't it. You know, I've got to admire Ethan a lot. If I saw contemporary art like this, I'd just reply to Mia's email with, sorry, shit was kind of weird, bye. You know I gotta win the sauce. Nope.
I don't do ADR. This new guy?
Ah, now that's a much more engaging way to show us a video flashback. Hand us control of the character. Also makes it scary since we are now in the driver's seat.
What's the story, Andre?
Abandoned farmhouse, missing family, foul play suspected. The usual.
Killing 3 birds with 1 stone, showing us there's definitely something to fear that's been here recently, gives us some needed exposition, and we are fearing for Ethan since we're sucked into this video not hearing what's going on in the present.
Hillbilly Joe and his family go missing.
Not hillbillies, the Bakers. Jack and Marguerite Baker.
That's gotta be how the nice people emailed Tom Segura after his Louisiana bit in one of his haha shows. Definitely a Blair Witch homage. I mean, come on. We're watching found footage and he's staring into a wall in the basement. This screen will never not be unsettling, especially when you pair it with this sound.
Did he see you?
Hey, who else is here? What the hell's going on?
Daddy's coming. We need to go.
Daddy was codenamed for Jack before they landed on the name. Not very inspired, sure, but it made its way in.
I didn't.
Okay, fine. Just tell me what's going on.
For someone that just found his girlfriend who's been missing for 3 years, he's insanely calm. Yes, in any other game, he should be a lot more emotional, but this game wasn't made to be about the story of the protagonist. He gets too emotional and the dialogue heavy, we start really caring about Ethan's story. We can't imprint ourselves on him as easily. Which was the whole goal and why we never see his face.
It's gone. It's gone. We're gonna be a family now that you're here.
A little bit of Evelyn foreshadowing. And some hints towards Evelyn being the grandma. E001 was Evie's codename. Well, the door was there. That ain't it, Chief. Ring, The Exorcist, and Evil Dead nod? Cute. I really appreciate Mia patiently waiting for us to stand up to give us a nice scare. For some reason that hurts to watch more than Ethan losing his entire hand. Someone's been watching a little bit too much Game of Thrones.
Get out! Leave me alone! I've been back.
This is hard enough to watch without really knowing Mia, but imagine what Ethan's going through, seeing his wife flipping between Monster and Mia. Gross. God, I hate when horror games do this. It's always so unsettling.
Ethan, it's okay. It's okay, it's me.
A proper jump scare, effective through the building of atmosphere and, Mia being crazy previously, and not through a loud noise. Anything through the palm is a no from me. And so it begins. Also, Ethan losing his hand was born from the quote that the author of Death Note made. Put your hero in a situation not even you can figure out and work from there. Granted, they figure out the answer pretty quickly. Magic green juice and staples, but still a great opener.
Where am I? What the hell?
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
Now talk about an instant classic and iconic scene. Before I even played RE8 or 7, I knew about this dinner scene. And this dinner scene was so important to get right, Capcom had gotten some team members to physically sit around the table and plan out the entire scene from there. All with little printouts of bugs and a GoPro for Ethan.
Dumb some bitch wasn't no good if it hit him.
Yes.
Lucas is a pretty funny guy. But Jack really isn't into his jokes. And I'm sure Jack didn't want Ethan to feel left out. And Jack's teaching his boy some manners about how to treat guests. And Capcom had planned to have a dog at the dinner scene named Diane. Glad they didn't, because they probably would have pulled an Ellie and called it a fucker. And this is the first title to actually have some evil residents, no? Have y'all heard of the McCamey Manor? If not, you should look it up. It's almost as bad as the dinner scene, and it's a legal tourist attraction, a haunted house. To whet your appetite, there's an 18-page waiver you have to sign.
He's not eating! Shut the hell up, Marguerite!
Originally, Jack and Marguerite were to be in a happy, loving relationship, which would have been interesting considering the circumstances, but the dysfunctional family definitely fits the setting and tone much better. Thus begins the teleporting grandma. You can even see my surprise with that double take. Okay, now we know that Jack isn't just crazy. I don't know if Capcom are just huge Star Wars fans or have a dismemberment fetish.
Had several calls about some missing persons lately.
You don't understand. I gotta get out of here.
We always gotta have the lone cop coming out into the isolated woods to give our protagonist some hope.
Wait!
So no head?
Well, this is one way to spice up a boss battle.
I'm gonna take you for a ride. No! Oh boy! Now look what you done, motherfucker!
I really love Jack. He's just having a blast doing all these awful things. Some big Outlast vibes with this tape. These puzzles are pretty dang cool. They never got old for me. God damn it, Jack. Speaking of Jack, he was specifically named after Jack Torrance and Jack Nicholson from The Shining. The main house walked so Castle Dimitrescu could run. Taking a page out of Mia's book. And it's kind of cool, because it feels like a lightsaber fight. That is fucking brutal. Kratos would be proud. I really love the safe house music. It's so melancholy and relaxing. RE7 was basically Capcom's last chance to revitalize the franchise. If they didn't get this right, it could have been over for Resident Evil. So they decided to go in this completely new direction and remember why people loved RE in the first place. The biggest inspirations they used was the first RE, Evil Dead, and Intimacy. Using these three things, they were able to bring Resident Evil 7 into the first person and really suck the player into the horror they wanted to create. This is why there was such a big push to get the game running in VR. Something else you might notice is that there's a distinct lack of references to previous titles. RE7 is almost considered a soft reboot in the third era of the franchise, which panned out in spades. I mean, hell, I've always stayed away from Resident Evil until Village, so they're doing something right.
Don't you stand there! Do something!
Lucas would be great at gaming sense. You may notice there really isn't much of a story either. Like there's the go save Mia and stop Evelyn, but other than that, no great themes or messages. Resident Evil 7 is just pure survival horror through and through, and it doesn't pretend it's anything else. What's with this third era of RE with their dead babies? Oh, absolutely not. This gave me big Gravelord Nito vibes for some reason, and made me laugh.
Well, that's special.
Not even Ethan can be bothered to be surprised by all the weird stuff in this house anymore. So there's a very good reason these houses feel so realistically haunted. Capcom took their team out to various scary and haunted locations to prepare for the game. You've heard of method acting before, but now you ever heard of method developing.
Don't you worry none!
It's probably just me, but I didn't think this creature was Marguerite. Having her contort like this is disgusting and plays into her horror theme perfectly. More on this in a bit. Of all the boss battles, this is the best one. The arena has enough space and options to shake up how you tackle her, supplies that you gotta find on the fly, and not just a big catch before the fight. Looking at you, Tentacle Jack. And she's just disgusting and terrifying to deal with.
Disgusting!
I like that he felt the need to add on him right, bitch. Ah, Evelyn's such a little prankster. Good soup. Not exactly my idea of a good time, but pretty close.
Sorry, buddy.
Apologies. Yeah, Ethan's really got more guts than me. I just give up on Mia right there. Also, this is some total Saw energy. So each of the bakers are consumed by one aspect of horror. Lucas is the Saw side of mental games, traps, and disgusting gore like with the cop. Jack is the slasher of the family, chasing us with a shovel, killing a cop like someone we know at Camp Crystal, using oversized scissors and slowly walking towards us. Marguerite is body and natural horror, through her nasty use of bugs and contorting of her body. And Evelyn is horror of the supernatural and bioweapons.
Keep it clean, gentlemen. We have rules.
Fuck you too.
Again, Ethan's done being scared and concerned about everything and is just tired.
I don't do spoilers.
Lucas would actually be bad at both GamingWins and Sins after hearing that. Nothing says boss battle like giving us enough firepower to maybe rob a small bank. Guess who's back? Back again.
Back to the house. I will deal with you later.
I really appreciate that super moldy Jack still retains some of his accent. A step Capcom wanted to take with Resident Evil 7 was a step away from the bombastic and grandeur of the previous two games, as they felt it's hard to feel horror and fear when everything's a Hollywood movie. This and Evelyn is about as grand as our boss battles get, but never feel too outlandish to make us feel like some superhero. We're constantly feeling like the underdog.
Now, I've seen everything.
Not quite. You haven't met your real mommy yet.
There can't just be one left. What the hell are we gonna do now?
I get a good kick out of Capcom giving us this choice, because we don't really know jack about either of them. It's pick Ethan's girlfriend that tried to kill us, or pick the girl that's been guiding and helping us.
Are you remembering?
What? What are you?
Kids in horror are one of the scariest things to exist. Alan's codex is blinking red. Nice. Oh yeah, Mia's not even close to being a damsel in distress. If anything, she's probably more trained and capable than Ethan. I mean, she has to be, right? If she was selected to be a handler for Evelyn. The only references we get to the other games are sparsely scattered through little notes like these, and even still, this letter says opposing organizations and not specifically Umbrella. I'm assuming they're talking about Umbrella here. This is a great help for the people that want to get into the franchise but are intimidated by it being the 7th mainline game in the franchise. And check this out, all Evie wanted to do was play hide and seek.
I don't want to live at the lab anymore. I want a house. And I want you to be my mommy.
All gamers, but instead of a lab, it's a bedroom, and instead of Mia, it's Lady Dimitrescu.
Alan, where the hell are you?
Alan.
Hey, we're getting to see that opening scene with a lot more context.
Then I don't need you anymore.
Let's not and say we did. Resident Evil 7 takes a lot of cues from Metrovanias, especially the ship level. Even though I'm not a fan of the genre, I can still appreciate them for what they are.
Hell, I never would have if I could have helped it.
What do you mean?
I'm no killer, son.
I love this, seeing Jack for what he truly is and not the monster that Evelyn termed him to be. We get to sympathize with Jack. All he wanted to do was help a little girl that was stranded in a boat crash.
Listen, the girl just wants a family of her own.
And that's a really sympathetic cause. Evelyn was created in a lab and born to be used as a weapon. In real life, there have been many experiments a long time ago that had babies or small children grow up without their mother, or more specifically, without any love. And all of those children died. And also, children that don't have loving support from a parental figure in their formative years are almost always irreversibly damaged for the rest of their lives. So it stands to reason that Evelyn would be trying to build herself a family, in all the wrong ways. Also, have you seen Homelander from The Boys? Spoilers for RE8. Just move forward to the timestamp on screen to skip it. It should have come at no surprise at the end of RE8 when Ethan is all moldy because he and Jack are conversing right now, and the only way that's possible is because he's been infected with the mold hive mind.
Now go kill that little bitch.
Call back to Alan calling her a bitch. It's never the actual bosses in video games that are tough anymore. It's always multiple enemies that are tough. It's not a dig here. This was challenging, and that's a good thing.
It's not here.
Evelyn has the ability to teleport herself for sure. I mean, check out Grandma going all over. But also others. Did you forget Jack playing Shovel Knight on that cop? And now Ethan gets teleported. This is the closest look we get at Ethan's face, and I gotta say, he's a hunk.
I know you didn't mean to hurt me.
Kill him, Mommy.
Huh. So every time Mia transformed, Evelyn was giving her direct orders. Now that Ethan is affected, he can hear Evelyn speaking.
Why does everyone hate me?
See, she just wanted to be loved. And also Miranda eyes. If you know, you know. I guess so. The Albert 01 was specifically created to take out bioweapons. Hence, its effectiveness. Hey, even though he looks whack, it's Chris.
They say that when one door closes, another opens. Well, a door closed tonight.
Another video game sequel will be on the way. Now, there's a bomb for the people that know what's good. Why is Umbrella putting down bioweapons? Why is Chris now working for him? Go Tell Aunt Rhody is definitely a song about Evelyn. Raised in a deep, dark hole, a prisoner with no parole. About Evelyn being created for the sole purpose of weaponry. In the second verse, I call to him and he will come, but when she's done, he'll be torn apart. Very much talking about Evie using Mia to lure Ethan to the Baker house. Wow, that's a lot of names, back to back. I hope you guys enjoyed this short and sweet one. Resident Evil 7 is a very small and intimate game that I really enjoyed. Not as much as I did 8, but I think that's just because they had more time to refine the game mechanics they built originally for this game. Since the Resident Evil franchise has been coming out to us in era trilogies, I'll put it that way, I'm very curious to see how they will continue in the first-person vein of Resident Evil. Are you a fan of these first-person Resident Evil games, or do you think everyone should be a copy of God's gift to this earth, Resident Evil 4? Let me know what you think down below, and as always, drink water, drive the speed limit, and love one another. Pizza.